I've been really enjoying Series 10 of Doctor Who so far, but with some reservations. Peter Capaldi is still riveting as the 12th Doctor, and he and showrunner Steven Moffat have continued his personal development from Series 9, making him more affable and eccentric, but still severe and intimidating. Bill, played by Pearl Mackie, is a great new companion. Bright, enthusiastic, assertive, witty, and very perceptive, Bill has shades of Donna and Ace, and she and the Doctor play off each other wonderfully. Nardole, who was little more than meek, yelping comic relief in The Husbands of River Song, is a surprisingly welcome addition to the formula, displaying heretofore unseen bravura and moxie as the Doctor's manservant and often ignored sense of responsibility. The vault beneath the university has been an intriguing framing device throughout the series, and all of the episodes so far have been solid, engaging, and well written. I also like Series 10's soft reboot approach, in which the fundamentals of Doctor Who are reintroduced. In the pilot, the Doctor and companion dynamic is established, and the Doctor is revealed as a time and space travelling adventurer. In Smile, the Doctor is shown to be sometimes reckless in his pursuit of justice. In Thin Ice, it's indicated that, while a hero, the Doctor has killed people. Knock Knock reaffirms that while he loves humans and considers Earth his home, the Doctor is very alien. Oxygen shows how kind and selfless the Doctor is, even at severe cost to his quality of life. My favourite episode so far is Jamie Matheson's chilling, clever, and very simple horror story Oxygen, with Sarah Dollard's Thin Ice, a whimsical period drama with great atmosphere, eerie moments, and crackling dialogue, very close behind. I think that the pilot, while fun, compelling, and sweet, was a slightly weak season opener. My favourite season opener is still the Impossible Astronaut two-parter from Series 6. The pilot also reinforces how overused the Daleks have become, effectively reducing them to a background role. I also agree with my friend Greg's observation about Series 10's scenarios being rather stock and generic. In succession, we've had a present-day Earth setting, a space colony setting, a historical drama, a haunted house story, and a space station with zombies. While all of these episodes are entertaining and well written, Series 10 didn't shake things up and provide a distinctly new scenario until halfway through, with computer simulations and the Vatican in Extremis. And unfortunately, Extremis is, for me, Series 10's first dud. The Doctor, still reeling from the blindness he sustained in Oxygen, is summoned by the Pope to help translate an ancient text. Stored in the heretical library of the Vatican, the Veritas causes anyone who reads it to commit suicide. While investigating the deadly text, the Doctor, Bill, and Nardole discover an alarming secret about the world around them. Extremis is eerie and compelling when you watch it, but feels insubstantial after the fact, and represents many of Moffat's bad habits. A lot of the character writing in Extremis is great. Bill displays a superb blend of excitement, fear, and inquisitiveness, and the Doctor is more vulnerable than ever before as he struggles against his blindness. His crafty attempts to hide his blindness provide some levity, and his distress in a tense, claustrophobic scene of him being stalked by unseen horrors in the heretical library, as his sight briefly returns then cruelly begins fading again, is palpable. Extremis has excellent acting, visual design, and atmosphere, but the narrative is derivative and doesn't hold up on its own. The premise, which involves a world-shattering document found in the Vatican and making its way to CERN, among other places, smacks more than a little of Dan Brown's Angels and Demons, and the central revelation of the world being a computer simulation has elements of The Matrix and Inception. Extremis has effective, gradual suspense derived from creepy ideas. The random number scene was a very disquieting moment, although having the Veritas work basically as a MacGuffin, telling the Doctor and other readers about the monks, their simulations, and planned invasion of Earth is a little lame. The episode's tone becomes incredibly grim by the end, but on a very poignant, human scale, as people around the world fall into fatalistic despair upon reading the Veritas. The image of the President dead in the Oval Office, a half-empty bottle of pills in his hand, is something you'd expect more from a season finale than right in the middle. The episode's prominent focus on suicide is surprisingly dark, even for Doctor Who. The narrative's progression in itself is fascinating and engrossing, but the episode does seem to be retreading Moffat's old ground. The monks, which look like shriveled corpses, are scary yet unmemorable, and their behind-the-scenes conspiracy to control the world makes them feel like another Silence. Moffat has used the conceit of the Doctor dying twice in his tenure as showrunner, first in Series 5 and 6, with River Song apparently destined to murder the 11th Doctor at Lake Silencio, then in Series 9, with the 12th Doctor making a confession dial in anticipation of his last day for very vague reasons, and now it's Missy who is condemned/destined to die. There are various flashbacks in Extremis to Missy's planned execution, in which the Doctor chooses not to execute Missy and instead pledges an oath to imprison and guard her for 1,000 years. Having Missy in the vault was a very predictable answer to the mystery of who's inside. It could have been the John Sim Master, or the Valeyard, or the Doctor's future self, or a vengeful Susan, and showing us how Missy ended up in the vault isn't very interesting. The mystery of the vault ended up rather underwhelming. The Monk's planet-wide computer simulation is also, to some degree, a rehash of the Nethersphere from Series 8, and the vault itself is basically another Pandorica. The simulated Doctor emailing his real self through their sonic sunglasses about the monks and their plans doesn't make much sense when you think about it. If the simulation of Earth is effectively a self-contained reality or mini-universe, then how can someone inside it contact someone outside of it? The notion that the simulated and real sonic sunglasses are the same object doesn't make any difference. Why would the monks have such a blatant oversight in their own simulation? Why would a self-contained simulation have such easily exploited outside connections? There are plenty of elements I really liked in Extremis, but the reason I declare it a dud is because it's all set up. Except for the execution flashbacks and a few minutes at the start and end, nothing in Extremis actually happened, so the episode feels like a holding pattern to deliver exposition before tomorrow's episode, The Pyramid at the End of the World. Granted, Extremis is the first part of a 3-part episode, and first acts like these usually do contain a lot of setup. However, most first-part episodes in New Who have had dramatic, self-contained narratives with strong consequences. In Utopia, the Doctor and Martha are reunited with Captain Jack Harkness and help the refugees on Malcasero blast off to their safe haven. Professor Yana becomes the Master again, regenerates, and escapes to present-day Earth, leaving the Doctor and his companions stranded 100 billion years in the future. In The Pandorica Opens, the Doctor travels to Stonehenge and meets River Song again, Amy and Rory reunite after the latter was erased from history, and the Doctor is imprisoned by an alliance of his greatest enemies, only for the TARDIS to explode and erase most of the universe, thus explaining the source of the recurring cracks in time. In The Magician's Apprentice, the Doctor, Clara and Missy are all summoned to Skaro by a dying Davros, who wants revenge for the Doctor abandoning him as a child on a battlefield, and the Daleks apparently destroy the TARDIS and exterminate Clara and Missy. These episodes are clearly the beginnings of larger stories, but they still feel like hefty adventures on their own, with complex motivations, tangible goals, and decisive actions by hero and villain, and their narratives culminate in something big and significant. But Extremis is all ideas with nothing to do. Extremis is not a bad episode, but it is the weakest episode of Series 10 thus far, and earns 3 stars out of 5. Thanks for watching. Cheers.